What's going on? Gonna check up on our herd management. Oh, I forgot. I was testing something. Never picked him up. I was looking at the damage live view, seeing how they do it. I learned something interesting though. So not sure what it quite means yet because I haven't really had a chance to look into it. Was just playing around with it, seeing what I could see. Um, so each one of these, when it hits, it's got a projectile. I think it's projectile damage or projectile. Hold on, I'm going to pause it real quick. All right, I'm back. So it doesn't apply to this animal what I got written down, but it's the same thing, the way it goes. So you got this thing called projectile damage event, and it's got its own unique number for each one, and I think that's how they log it into the hunter log. But when it goes through, so under that projectile damage event, you've got the projectile UID, which is for this guy, and it's going to be a long. And then they got the shot UID. Then they got the projectile type. Now the projectile type is like the type 1, type 2, type 3 that's in that sheet that Liquid Fire showed on his video. And just to be clear, I don't think that sheet is what it takes to kill a, a lung or anything. There's more parameters going into that. That is the basic animal. This is the lung damage for this guy. And there's a lot of other parameters that have to go into it to say it kills this lung, and a lot of it has to do with the ammo. I believe. Not saying that in stone. I don't know what I don't know yet, so I only know what I know, and it's not enough to make a definitive answer on that. But I know from shooting animals. Here's what I do know. Here's what I know that I know is even though it may say 600 joules for this lung, it may take 600 joules. It may take over 600 joules and not die. So I'm not even gonna attempt it to do it right now. Explain it. I just know what it takes. So like this, 313 joules. That's half of it. I mean, that should be showing up here 50% for this left lung if it's 600 joules to kill that lung. But it also has to do with energy, speed, velocity, what it's hitting it with, the type of bullet, the diameter. There's all kinds of other parameters in here that they're using that cause damage. So, but to get back to this thing, so the projectile ID, that's a long number. I mean, it's like 7,999,600. It's got its own unique ID number for that shot. um, but it's going under that projectile type. So they don't really have it as type 1, type 2, and they have to do it that way. Oh my God, my phone! I'm sorry. Every time I fucking get on this computer, you guys just hear my phone going off nonstop. Oh, Ruger American Predator Gen 2 308. Ooh, 549. Sorry, I'm looking for a new rifle I can put my can on, and it's yeah. So nice. Let me just reply back to this. Sorry, I was going to get one for my 300 blackout, but dude, I heard somebody else's 308 suppressed, and I reload so I can do it subsonic. But man, that thing was like, I thought they were shooting a freaking. It's quieter than my 22 Whisper pellet gun, which is not very quiet, but dang, that thing was quiet. 22-inch barrel. So, all right, sorry, tangent. Probably need to go take one of my freaking Adderall. So then they've got after the projectile type, because like I said, it's they even though they got type 1 for rifle, that's a set parameter for saying, hey, this is type 1, this is the damage that it does here. But then they're also going to have the projectile type is going to be an individual bullet. That's why the 416 is going to be way different with the amount of energy than shooting a close up like the 224 um, with the same amount of energy if you were like 2 yards away than shooting a rifle that gives you the same energy 400 yards away. So it's going to be some different damage because energy isn't energy. Energy is also has to do with the projectile type, the shape, how it travels, everything else. That's how they're calculating, the drop, the energy loss. They're actually using a ballistic table for energy loss, So that's why you can have a bullet of the same muzzle velocity and the same energy, but a different bullet type, but one loses energy faster than the other at distance because it depends on the bullet type, the shape of the bullet. They're actually doing a ballistics calculation. That I know. You can say different, but I already know it, so I don't really care what you think. Um, it's just the way it goes. So then you got projectile time of flight. So this, I don't know if this is in seconds, milliseconds, whatever. But for this particular shot, which I can't remember how much it was, I would have to convert it because they have everything in centimeters. But it was, and you can do it if you want because I'll tell you the numbers, but it was 0.165000. So 0.165 was what the projectile time of flight was. Projectile distance of flight was 144,015. 0.25, 250,000. So that's how far they're going in centimeters. But you gotta basically put this as 14415.25, and that's in centimeters. I know it's in centimeters because I keep my game in yards. I converted centimeters to yards, and it's the exact same. So it's definitely centimeters that they're using. Entry energy for this particular shot, not this one, the one that I was got this data from, was 4,674, and they've got this all the way to the 300 thousandths or the 100 thousandths because it's 359,375 for the decimal. Exit energy was 0 because that shot stayed in, kind of like this one. Exit entry would be 0. Total duration. So they got a total duration. So the total duration, I believe, is like the duration of this shot. So that might be where they're getting this table here going through. So the duration is this portion. So this is time, and I know how they're calculating this, and I know how they're getting these lines here now. So, and it's always been what I said it was. This is penetration. This is penetration in centimeters right here. From here to here is penetration in centimeters. Here to here is penetration in centimeters. Here to here is penetration in centimeters here. So this is all penetration in centimeters. This down here is the time that it was, the duration that it took to penetrate that. So the time of duration it took to penetrate from here to here, and makes sense because here it's traveling faster. It's got more energy. It's coming down. Here it hits harder. It's a hard object, so it's losing energy faster. It's dropping joules in a certain amount of distance here to here, a certain amount of centimeters, and it's taken it a shorter amount of time to lose that. And then here it hits the lung. It's actually staying in the lung longer, losing a little bit less energy, penetrating further because, it's a soft, gushy material, flesh, and then lungs. So this is basically a duration that is in the organ. This is the length that is in the organ in centimeters. And then it shows the joule drop within that length. So once you got the total duration, which was 0.001813, and then you got internal hits. So internal hits, they have separated. It'll show what the internal hits are, and it's got them basically listed out as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many hits. So this one would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And then they got cavity hits. So cavity hits, it has also the same thing. It's got 0, 1, 2, and 3. So on this particular animal, not the one that I'm showing right here, but the particular animal that I wrote this data down from, it had flesh as 0 because that was the first thing it hit. Then it had bone as 1, just like this one is. Then it had right lung as number 2, and then liver as number 3 on that particular one that I did, not this one, not the one I'm showing, just this one. But then for the internal hits, so when you look at the internal hits, they're basically have it broken down to the organ. So like the internal flesh, or internal hit. So when it goes to this, it's got it under, like the very first one will say PM flesh, and it's got a depth. So not on this one here that you're looking at, but the one that I wrote this data down. So the depth was 9.172832. So that was the depth that it went into this organ. So that would basically be 9.172832 centimeters till it hit bone. The M duration for the particular one that I'm looking at was 0.00707. So it was cruising. So it was a shorter duration in here because it's going faster. then it's got a damage. And this is the weird thing that I'm trying to calculate, trying to figure out. The damage is, so there's a separate damage, but it's so far it's always been the same as the penetration or the depth. So damage and depth are the same. Um, then you've got start energy, so it's telling you what energy it hit when it started, and it's got an energy loss. It doesn't have an exit energy. It just says energy loss. So basically, it calculates here, hits, and says, okay, this hit at 5,596 joules, and then it lost 425.959808 joules. So it's just calculating the loss and subtracting that. So when it subtracts the start energy from the loss energy, it knows the next one, this is where it's going to start from. So like this first one started at the flesh. It was 18.528868 was the depth. The duration for the very first shot on this one that I'm looking at was not the one on the screen, but the one that I wrote this data down for, was 0.00238. So remember that, 0.00238. That was the duration. And then the damage was, again, the exact same as the depth, 18.52868. And then the start energy was 4,674.358887. And the energy loss was 1630.285400. They have an M component, and that's so far has been none on all of them. And then it's got an M material, which just basically tells what it is. It's like physical material. It's under game TE8 shared physical material library vitals PM flesh.PM flesh. So that was like the first one. So then it goes to PM right lung, PM flesh, PM liver. So the second one went into the right lung, and it went a distance of 33. So imagine this one. This one didn't hit bone, the shot that I'm reading you. This one did, but it hit flesh. So the line was going to be a little longer here because the distance or the depth was 33.923454. So it went a depth of 33 centimeters, 33.923545 centimeters. The time that it took is actually increased. So it's 0.00623. So an increased time. So because it was in there longer, I guess. And it's probably slowing down. But again, the M damage was the exact same, 33.923545. The entry energy was, or start energy was 30,044, and the exit energy was the energy loss was 2,059.798828, and that hit the left lung. So, and then it continued on that to the flesh again. So pretty much once you exit the lung, once it hits here, this is definitely hitting flesh again. So it's calculating flesh. So this flesh damage is not just this first portion here until it hits a bone. This flesh damage, so here is flesh. It hit bone. Got here, this is flesh until it hit lung. So this little spot right here is adding flesh. Then it hits lung, going through the lung, and then this is flesh right here. This is flesh. And then it hit the lung, and then it ended into the lung. So that's how they do it. So now, why the depth and the damage is always the same? Still working on that. But the start energy and the end energy is there, but they're also got some more calculations. So I'm just kind of going through this step by step till I understand exactly what that portion's doing. Then I'm going to the next step to see, okay, what is this doing? And I'm trying to do this with different bullets. And I only have like an hour a day to maybe do this because I work a butt ton of hours. People are killing themselves where I work all the time. I'm working 3 freaking fatalities, and it's in the last 4 weeks, and it's taking up a lot of time. So, and I'm trying to comp time off and spend time with my family too when I can. So like right now, I'm kind of doing this when my wife's out, going to picking up the kid from school because I actually took the day off. Because normally I got freaking yard work to do and stuff to do around the house too. So I'm trying to do this when I can. Yeah, I didn't mean to go over this with this one. I just figured since I claimed it, I was saying what I was going to do because this is not the purpose of this video. So what was this guy? 71? Yeah. So, but he was laying there because I was testing him with the live view and going through all that stuff, pulling up the things I can pull up and see what the actual damage was. What time is it? 1:57. It's like 2 a.m. I'm sure you guys dark as shit on the screen, so I am going to sleep a little bit. So I have not looked at these guys, have not played, slept or anything. I've just shot a couple animals just to look. So it was very little time just to look at the data and the live view of what's being seen. So I should still be on day 1. Oh, no, on day 2. Okay. Why is my headphones? Hold on. Oh, I didn't turn my headphones on. Like, I'm not hearing anything. Hopefully I'm recording sound. Oh, let's take the red buggy. I don't know why I like this red buggy. Oh, let me get my new favorite rifle out, though. I'm actually thinking about buying a Bergara. I was looking at the Rugers with a 300 Blackout. And I'm only doing that because I have a 300 Blackout AR. And the Ruger American can take the AR mag. So I can just pop out an AR mag, throw it in the Ruger American, have a bolt gun with a can on it to really make it quiet. But I was looking at these Bulgaras, and they're not that much more expensive. And I actually have a shoot competition, a F-class with a Remington 700. That's set up pretty sweet. I have to show a picture of that one day. But uses the same mag, so I've already set up with the mag. So just man, I'm kind of torn, and it's already set up for a suppressor also. Just got to read it on. All right, I don't even know where these dudes are. Where are they at when they're sleeping here? Hold on. I just need to check on like one herd. So 7 o'clock, they're eating, going to water. So let me find somebody. Where are you guys at? Find one that's got. Is there one that I got both eating spots? Yeah. Oh, so here's the other thing I noticed when I was making my video. I had the same herd. So get this. With your little icons here, you can have, each animal has its own icon. So your herd has its icon, but each animal has its own icon. I never realized that until I was doing it, because I literally knew what the icon was for my herd, and I killed an animal and I was like, oh, he's from a different herd. And then I was, wait a minute. I'm like, that herd shouldn't even be close to here. And I killed another animal and I was like, wait a minute. That dude's a high fit. He's got the same thing. So the fitness of the animal has its own little guy here. I never realized that. Everybody else is probably like, duh, you didn't know that? Because I just never really paid attention to this stuff. But yeah, so I thought everything just showed what the herd fitness was in there, and it goes. I didn't realize each animal had its own herd fitness. Kind of weird. Rambling, my bad. All right, let's see what we can see out here. Probably going to the wrong spot anyways. I've shot so many of these things, I don't know what's what. I don't care if they run, do anything, I just need to glass it. Oh, but you know what? Let's get that ready. Let's get out real quick and put my binos on. Alright. Oh god, let me get rid of these markers too. Holy crap. Move off. And I just need you. Alright, I'll come get you when I get a herd. Alright, hill here. Surprised I didn't spook him because I drove right up on him. But I am on hiker and I am in the ATV or UTV. The UTV does not spook animals as much as running. There we go. All right, so young. So everything's going to be young. All right. Oh, here's another thing I bet you some people might know, some people didn't. Your females don't start at 1 year old. A lot of your females, I haven't checked on all of them, but I'm pretty sure the kudus, they actually start at 2 years old. So your females should actually show a higher age once they pass through that age bracket than what your males do. So just a little something. Yeah, males start at age 1. Females, they literally spawn at age 2. So they're already a year older than the males. Don't know why they did that. Really don't. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to pause recording, and I'm going to let the game sit here a little while longer. It's 8:17. I don't know what the end game that you got to wait is, but I'm going to just give it a minute or two and then come back and sleep. All right. So I always thought they got rid of the singles. But I've got this single kudu right here. So I'm going to bust his ass and figure out what, just see what he is. Oh, I got no ammo. Shoot. How about I, whoop, wrong button. How about I reload? Oh, no, I got ammo now. Oh, you know what? I wanted to try something. Oh. Kind of want to shoot him in the head. So there's something I wanted to try. He was so close. Bet you a lot of the energy got wasted. That's going to be a pass-through, I guarantee you. Animal survived. Yep. I want to kill him and find out. Whoa! Holy shit, did he survive that too? What the hell? Holy crap. Can I just not shoot? Oh! Wrong gun. Duh. Holy crap. Yeah. That ought to get you. Oh. Man, I still can't believe that 224 didn't get him on the first one. I mean, that was pretty dang close. That was a lot of energy. I'd like to see what happened there. Oh, let me take the glasses off. And like I said, that chart that Liquid Fire showed, I don't believe those are the organ damages. I believe that is a set. This is the starting point for the organ damages, but there's more that goes into that. So you can't look at it and say, yeah, that takes 400 joules to kill this lung. Because look at this. So this lung. Oh well, this is large animals. This is 600 anyways, but still. Oh well, it didn't quite. Well, no, yeah, it's 400 right here. Let me see. Yeah, I mean it hit right at 400 here. But still, the left lung. You can see there's no cavitation damage. The cavity damage all got dumped into the flesh. So super fast round, super light round. You can already see all the cavity damage starting here. The majority of this damage right here got pumped into this flesh right over here, and not that much of it got pumped into here. So it went through the flesh, and this is how the depth it went. So it basically took what, 1797 to, we'll call it 403. 1797 minus 403. So 1394 joules into this flesh. Small percentage, but like I said, so what, like flesh is what, 6,000? So kind of makes sense. I mean, 1300, if you were to do that 6 times, but a majority of this 934 of this total damage. So you got your penetration 862, 934. So there's 862 penetration. So if we were, but a lot of this cavity damage, like I said, got spent here. So a majority of this damage was put here. So out of that 1394, there was probably, you know, being this is the longest duration and the longest length that it was in there, or at least the longest length, you probably lost more penetration going through this one than you did through the lung. So you probably got more penetration damage here than you did here, which is easily probably to see because, like I said, you got 1,000. Now this cavity damage is not split up. It's not down here. Is not 52% cavity damage. Down here is whatever is left over from where it dumped all this cavity damage into here. So when it hit here, it's got 403 going into the lungs. But if you watch it, that cavity damage, it creeps in a little bit in the lungs. Actually, shoot, it hardly creeps in at all. So it only got the cavity through the tip. Basically, this little bit of cavity damage that's showing. Stop. God dang it. I hate this UI sometimes. So it only got this cavity damage that's kind of showing through. There's no good way to show it, but this little bit that's right here. Majority of it, because it's a very fast hitting round, it just dumps a ton of energy because it's super light, super fast, and these things heavy toughness, and it boom hit air, busted all that freaking cavity. All this cavity damage pretty much got dumped into this organ, and then the rest of it got into here. And here's the other thing I'm looking for, because I found the widget where they use these. I'm trying to see where they populate it, because I'm not 100% sure that it starts from here to here. I'm starting to think from here to here is because it has an overlay, and it has a, the same way that they do it if you've already shot an animal, like shot 2. So they have it where it stops here. I forget what they call it, but it's. I'm almost wondering now that I don't think penetration starts from here to here, and cavity goes from here to here. I almost think penetration goes from here to here, and then cavity adds on to it. Haven't confirmed it. I'm about 60% that's how they're doing it, the way the numbers are looking, but not 100% sure. So if you look at the flesh and the cavity, I mean right here, there is no cavity got put into this bone. And you can see no cavity put into this bone. The cavity doesn't start till way back here. So this is just a tangent because it's got to have a starting point and an ending point and where it goes through. So I'm pretty sure all 741 of this is right in here, and the 648 or 684 is from here to here. The because it goes from the tip to the end. That's why you're not seeing any cavity on this bone, because there is none. Now, if it would have stretched, hit the bone through here, you'd probably see a little bit of cavity, but it wouldn't have been much. It would have just been a little bit sticking out. So I'm 60%. Like I said, I'm still a real low number on it, but looking at almost thinking that it calculates the penetration here, and then it adds on the cavity damage here, and that adds into it. So doing the 52-48, because the other thing is they don't mention 48%. They only mention 52% cavity anywhere in the code. So it doesn't mention anything else. It just has the cavity 52%. It shows the tangent, how the cavity damage is done, and the penetration is just basically a path. So the yeah, and then shot 3 took him out, and this one's going to have some more and more. Now this is definitely overkill. So when it hits, you're getting all this extra cavity. Yeah, that's going to be your overkill. So like I said, even the flesh, look at the flesh. So it had already gone through the flesh for a lot of it, and it's got this much. Now, if you were to take the area of this and put it into here, and these, would that be that portion of what's left, because so much of it got dumped into that lung? Because a lot of it got dumped into that lung. So, like I said, I'm looking for those numbers. Once I find them, it'll be confirmed. So 91%. So that dude's a 91 percenter. Not bad. I'd like to do more, but being that they are 50 to 100, I mean, pretty sure this is as high as you can get, isn't it? I don't know how much higher that thing can climb. All right, so let's go. Oh, what is it? Oh, buffalo. Wait, is that buffalo? Oh, no, is that? No, that's the kudu. Okay, that's the other herd. Hold on. It should be. This might be where. No, I don't know if my 5-star died yet, or if he's still alive. I can't even remember what herd he was a part of. But we'll go sleep, and I'll be back. Oh, here, just go ahead and sleep. And from my understanding, watching Bumble, I think you can sleep as long as you sleep past 12. So this should be day 3. Day 3, so I think you can sleep again as long as you go past 12. This should be a new year. Yep, day 1. It's a new year. Okay. I don't know how many times you can do that, but I need it to be. Let's try 647. That'll work. And that should still be day 1 because we're in the right. Okay. I get my glasses on. It's making me nauseous trying to read that and trying to look at my screen. All right. So in a year they shouldn't do anything. Okay, let me just try this because I don't know. And you go back and watch one of Bumble's videos on this. Can I? Is this day 2? Yes. How many times can I do this now? Oh, that didn't go far enough. Well, it should still be day 2, right? Yep. So I should probably write this down. I don't have a pen on me. I just remember this will be year 2, right? We're in year 2. So, yep. So this one here should be year 2. so year 2. All right, so see, these guys went down probably because I killed the other guy. Huh. Or, see, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. This is probably dark as crap for you guys. Let me go get it a little. What is the age? When do they actually get? What's the cycle? Oh, young. Oh, shit. So they should be adult now. All right, so I should be able to start busting some ass and see. Because there should be some 2-star adults, 1-star adults, maybe. Wait, how many is that? 3 to 4. So I did the first year, second year. This is the 3rd year. So this should be their first year as adults, right? First year as adults, I think. Oh, now I gotta go to like every herd again. I gotta get all their need zones. All right, I'm gonna pause it real quick because all right, sorry, nature called. I'm off, so I'm drinking some Red Stripe. Normally it's Guinness. I haven't had a Red Stripe in a while, so. All right. You are. Let's see. Young. Okay, so I don't even know if you're part of that group then, because shouldn't you be older, or do I not understand the whole year skipping thing? Maybe you just can't skip years. Maybe you have to do 1 year and then wait. If somebody knows how to do that, please let me know, because I have no idea whatsoever. I do not understand how that works. I never really cared too much. I have watched it, but I also have the memory of a squirrel. I know you guys are part of the herd. Okay, so maybe you can't skip that way. Or maybe I miscalculated. So, I can't remember, is it 15 in real life? Or is it 15 in game? I don't know. Alright, well, I'll do this off camera and go back. Alright, so my single guy respawned. So that worked. So I must just have the years jacked up. Was I looking at the right animal when I went to the encyclopedia? Yeah, greater kudu. Alright, so they should be young 1 to 2. They should be adults 3 to 4. So we had them all spawn on the first year. Then I moved to the second year. I thought this was the start of the 3rd year, so they should be adults. But maybe I am wrong. And now I want to bust this guy again to find out what he is. Yeah, I just didn't feel like waiting and running. So, drum roll, please. He does not look that good. He looks a little wonky on this side compared to this side. I mean, looks pretty square there. When you look at him head on, it looks a little lopsided. Yeah, this one looks a little shorter here than it does over here. 78, yeah. So now let's see what that did. Oh, let's go see if I can change the year again. that gun away now. Wait, what year was I on? Come on. Oh, wait, I didn't skip a year. That's why. All right, let's try that. That might have explained things. I was on day 3. Oh, I'm still on day 3. So am I not getting enough time? Was that like the max? Do I need to? Okay, well, let me... Sorry I didn't finish that sentence before I turned it off. Let me spend a little more time in game, and then I'll come back. I need to go buy some more of that ammo too. All right, oh, I'll be back. Oh, oh. I didn't realize you guys were there. Just double check, make sure you're young. Everybody's young. All right, while I was killing time, shot an animal here. So just to go, this is why I understand the data of this animal's a big. It's under big. Should have 600 hit points to kill, minimum energy to kill alone. So that's minimum energy. So when you think of that, that's the minimum energy to kill something. But I could kind of take that as it doesn't have to be that to kill something. It's just you got to have at least 600. That's the way I read minimum. So yeah, you have to have at least 600 to kill it. But you could hit it with 700 and not kill it. But then there's the dead on the spot energy, which I know is like, okay, that's it. Dude can't handle any more than that. He's going to drop like a brick. So I think there's the other play in here. So we're using 300 PRC. The Firefly Strike, I don't even know what that is. That's her made up brand. But so it hits with, 4,525 joules. You get a little bit of bone and a little bit of lung cavity here. So we're hitting bone already. So we're hitting bone with a cavity. Bone takes a lot, and that thing's getting a bunch of cavity damage. This lung is getting a little bit of cavity damage, not much. I mean, it's just a little bit right over here in this corner, getting there. But let's take a look at this other lung. So let's get till it flashes. Okay, so I'm inside of it a little bit, so 853. So we got 853 minus, when does it stop flashing? I'm going to leave it where it's flashing because that's going to be a little less. So we'll minus 138. That's 715 joules. That's 100 joules more than what the game says minimum takes. Now, it did not stay in this lung very long. And it did not have a lot of cavity damage. Had some, not much. I mean, just a little. So, there's more to play than just the numbers, the 600 joules. That's why I keep saying it's not joules that it takes to kill it. Yes, they have a threshold. Minimum is 600. Can it live with 600? Yes. Can it live with 650? Yes. Can it live with 700? Yes, because apparently it just did it. 715 over, and it's still alive. Matter of fact, it just barely killed it over 50%. I mean, we'll call that 65%, maybe 70. I don't know. So 700 joules, didn't even attempt to kill it all the way. So shot two only had this little bit of left lung right here, just that little bit of cavity damage in the left lung, and it pretty much ended in there. So that thing took 1,500 joules. Yeah, 1500 joules. Because by the time it hit here, I mean, it was a 9. So, yeah, we'll just call it. Yeah, 1596 minus 9. Yeah, we'll call it, or 1496 minus 9. We'll call it an even 1490. 1499, right? I mean, yeah. We'll just call it 1487, 1485. Yeah. So that definitely killed it. 1485. But it was under the threshold to DRT it. And it just barely nicked the bone. Went through barely a little bit of centimeters in there. Just nicked it. And this thing's not 100% accurate either. This is a depiction that they throw on there. It calculates it when it goes in, but this is kind of just a readout. Pretty accurate, but I've seen it off. So, but so there you go. I mean, that's why I believe. I'm not saying that data that I found with the minimum and the DRT joules is there. I mean, I think that's the minimum that it takes that you can kill it. I think 600 joules will kill it long if you hit it with the right thing with 600 joules. But I think there's a lot more to play with in it. I think that's the minimum to kill it. But can you let it live with 600? Yeah, we just saw it right here. We just saw it live with 700. Not even killing it 100% because I think it has to do with the speed. So what is that? Oh, see, I'd have to calculate because it's in joules. I'd have to convert it. I'm trying to think what that would be, the speed of that bullet, and I don't even know what grains this bullet is. I'd have to calculate that later. So I got to convert it the feet per second. I got to take the amount of grains to figure out what the speed that projectile is hitting there. Because there's more going into the damage. A lot of it has to do with your projectile type. It's not just you just can't go, hey, I can shoot it with any rifle and I got this much damage in joules. Can't do it. Sorry. It is lungs. It is joules of damage in here. Like I always said, this is not the amount of joules that are going into it. This is a percentage of the lung being killed. Um, with cavity and penetration. The 600 is a starting point. The DRT, I'm pretty sure, is pretty solid. But to get to those numbers, there's also a lot more at play. Because this is a pretty good sized bullet, 30 caliber bullet. Pretty heavy. Looks like a monolithic, the way they got it designed here. So it's going to be a copper. I can't remember what the heck bullets they got, but definitely a copper hollow point. So monolithic bullet. Pretty long. And they're calculating some other things in here. Because it goes into all the way till it's leaving the lung. And it doesn't exit the lung completely. But either way, it pumped 715 joules into that bad boy. And the lung is still alive. Because there are other calculations going into this, depending on your bullet type. That's why you gotta, the energy that it has. I plan on doing some tables one day when I retire here in the next 8 months. And I'm forced to take my 3 months of leave off. I'm gonna really look into this and see what each bullet type does with the same amount of energy going through the same spot. If I have to use freaking Wii mod to get these things to stand still or something. Sorry, rambling. But it is time to spin long enough to change gears. What the heck is going on here? All right, so I'm on day 3. This should put these dudes. This should put these guys into the next year. So they should be adults now. Let's go check. See what kind of adults we have. These aren't adults. I don't know what the hell. I'm going to have to just switch these. Play another day. Okay, adult. 1-star adult, 1-star adult, 1-star adult. So we'll find out in a couple of years. So if they're adults now, that means we are on year 3. Which throws that thing off of what I said before about the females. Even though I'd have to look at the code again because I'm not 100% sure the females were. But its kudus are involved in that? Because it wasn't all of them. I thought they were. Maybe they're not. Alright. Let's go back to homeboy over here. He should have spawned back. Oh, let's see what this is. So they're stable again. So we went from freaking massive. So, okay. I'm starting to get it. This is what they are right now. So when I was up, and it was up 22%, or whatever it was, and it was at 50 to 100 with the bar being way up high. That's probably because there was one high fit animal on the map. So it's taking your average of animals and doing it. Because I only had one, the average of one high fit is extremely high fit. So this is what your alive herd is. So when you kill something, assuming you got to wait till the next year. So this guy didn't respawn. Either that or he's in another spawn point. Is this him? Yeah, so he might be in a different feed zone since I killed him twice in that freaking feed zone. Yeah. So if that's the case, that chart really doesn't do jack shit for you. I mean, if it's always showing your average right now, it's just showing you, hey, you got some herds that you have not killed all the low fits in. So that dude's looking good. That adult right there is going to be he's going to be a really good one. This adult right here is not going to be so good. This one maybe not. He's going to be good right here. I'm going to toast this dude. I wish I could see him compared to the other guy here. Hold on. Oh. Not what I meant to do. Alright, so, yeah, you look good. You don't look so good. I'm just going to take you. There you go. Oh, that's all I got is the hollow point in this. Yeah, I want to take you too. So, that blows my theory out of the water. So, killing everything, waiting the next year, made my herd go up because I left the one guy. Now, they pretty much respawned with a fairly high fitness. I killed one guy, was a 91, and it brought it down. I killed him again, went into the next year, and now they're stable. So it's using what's alive right now. So that means I've got a whole mix of 50 to 100, yeah, what is this? Stable going, yeah, pretty much 50 to 100 percenters, with the majority of them being in the 75% range. What are those? Are they every 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95? Nope. Oh, wait, yeah, so that's 50 there. So this is 55, 60, 65, 70. So 70 to 75 range is where the majority of my guys are at. I didn't even look and see where these guys went. When I tracked my blood, I thought I'd just see them down there. But... oh, there they are. Where's my dead guy? Oh, there he is. Drove right past him. Alright, so what are you? First of all, let's see how many joules I hit him with in the lung. So 3306 minus 2143. Yeah, 1163. So definitely killed him. But 57%er. Yep, I knew he was going to be low. Look at that crappy ass rack. So, all right, so that throws my theory out of the water. Yeah, don't kill everything except for your... So that just goes to tell me, how do they do the respawn rate? So is it the amount of 5 stars you have? Let's look at these guys while they're walking towards me. Oh, just lay down here, dude. Oh, I can't. Yeah, you suck. You suck. You're good. You're good. Okay, I want to kill 3 of you. You're definitely going. You're definitely going. Did I get you? Yeah, I did. Okay. These die together. These die together. So, experiment failed. So, all you can do is wait till they get older, look at their racks, and shoot the ones that look pretty lame. This is what I found too, though. The further you get away here, the easier it is to see their racks. Like to tell. They actually look bigger from a distance. Like, this guy's good, this guy's good, this guy's good. This guy would raise his head. I don't think he's very good. He might have been alright. No, he's definitely smaller than these guys. Yeah, I can tell right now he's bigger than this guy. Alright. See how bad off I was. $64. Yep, definitely need to go. I think this guy's even lower. Let me see. Oh, no, he might be higher. Ooh, that was a bad shot. Shot 2 was pretty good. A lot of cavity. See that? See how much cavity went in there? Look at how much more cavity. See that bullet penetration through here? I mean, a lot shorter length here than it was through here. But no cavity, all this cavity. This is not 5248. This is not 5248. This is whatever penetration went through this length. And this is where a pool of this huge number here got dumped. A lot of it got dumped into here because the largest amount of it's over here. So can't separate it by 5248. You got to separate it by how much this bullet creates a cavity and where, how deep, how far in, what it's got to go through, like flesh hitting first. So what is this dude? 57. So he was lower. Thought he was bigger. And this guy, which probably isn't dead yet. Oh, no, he is. And he is... So, let's take a look at this shot. That's a lot into the lung. A lot of cavity in the bone. A lot into the lung. But it killed it with nothing but penetration through that. And what did it hit with? .2205. Close enough. That's why I like knowing where this is at in the code now, because I can actually just pull it out of the data while I'm playing it and actually see what the exact numbers are. And 512. So 1,693 joules in that lung. And barely hit the bone. With penetration, but got a lot of cavity. Got a lot of cavity in the flesh, but not as much as penetration because he went all the way through here. All this flesh. And 53. Yep. I knew those were good ones to take. Now let's go sleep again if it'll let me. Oh, wrong house. I could have slept there, but I didn't want to. Let's see what happens if I can skip a year. If I can. Wait, what are we on? Day 1? So, can I do it? I don't know. All right, let's see if this is day 3. Or day 1. Okay, yep. So that was a year. So what happened here? So it brought it up 3%. So I killed those 3 guys. So, yep, it's definitely with what's in there now. But I should have had respawns. Since it's in a year, those 3 guys should have respawned. So maybe they respawned with a higher percentage. I don't know. But they're basically now... They're at 75 and 80 as the higher range. So, all right, well, experiment done. Yeah, don't do what I did. Don't go kill everything unless you really want to, because it makes no difference. So, all right, well, you watched. Thanks for watching. And if you like it, like and subscribe so I know that somebody's watching this. All right, peace out.